Hey guys, Rodney Walker here with Grant Central USA, and I want to continue the conversation we've been having in regards to, so you want to start a nonprofit. And I want to talk to you about this because this is so important. And in this video, I want to share with you information about why I believe most people who want to start nonprofits probably shouldn't. Okay, now I'm not trying to discourage you. I'm just trying to be honest with you, and I'm just trying to share some real facts with you to help you. And if you get through the information I'm going to be sharing with you in these next few videos in this series, and you still want to start a nonprofit, I want to be your biggest fan, and I want to see you win, and I want to support that effort. But I want to share with you the real facts, because when I first started my nonprofit, I didn't know what I was doing. In fact, I was operating more on zeal and passion versus skill and knowledge. And I believe that if you're going to do this really well and you're going to be a successful nonprofit organization, you're going to have that passion, you're going to have that zeal, but you're also going to need to have those skills. Okay, so I want you to have passion, skills, as well as the zeal. We need all of that in the mix. So I want to share with you some information, hopefully that can help you as you move forward. But let me share with you real quickly why I believe a lot of people who want to start nonprofits, why they probably shouldn't. And here are some of the reasons. Reason number one that I believe this, I believe a lot of people that are wanting to do this really haven't counted the costs. They haven't counted the costs to really understand how a nonprofit is supposed to operate, okay? So they haven't counted the costs in terms of what is it gonna take? How much money is it gonna take for me to even get started? They haven't counted the costs in terms of not just how much money is it gonna cost me, how much time and energy. Because here's the thing, when you're doing a nonprofit is a business, and it really, when you're starting it out and it hasn't existed before and you're launching it, it's really a startup. And there's a certain mentality and there's a certain work ethic that you have to put in if you're gonna be starting something from scratch. It's like you're an entrepreneur in a sense, and it takes some entrepreneurial type of skills to help to navigate it, to launch it. And many people that are thinking about doing a nonprofit, if you haven't launched anything or if you haven't launched a business, you may be in for a rude awakening. It's gonna take some work. So that's why I say the first thing is many people haven't taken the time to really count the cost. What is it gonna require of me to actually start this nonprofit? The second reason that I believe that a lot of people that are thinking about starting nonprofits, why they probably shouldn't, is that they really not only haven't counted the cost, but they really don't know how a nonprofit organization is supposed to operate. So here's what happens. They try to start this group and they start trying to work and do this nonprofit, but since they don't know how it's supposed to operate and how it's supposed to function, then things kind of go haywire, and eventually it falls flat on its face. So that's the second reason. Let me give you a third reason. A third reason is that many that are thinking about doing this haven't considered the fact that a nonprofit is a business. It's a business. And if you're going to do a nonprofit, you want to make sure that you function and work your nonprofit, if it's going to be an officially recognized nonprofit, that you operate it as a business, okay? Which means that if you're going to do this and you're going to do it right, you're going to have to learn some business, or else your nonprofit won't succeed. It won't win. It won't do hopefully what you're wanting it to do. And I'm pretty convinced that if you're thinking about doing this, you're doing this and want to do this because you're wanting to make some type of difference in the world. And those people that I've talked to oftentimes that are wanting to do this are some of the most big-hearted people that I've ever met. Good people who are wanting to do good, but just don't know how things are supposed to operate. And so that's why I'm really encouraging you, as you're thinking about doing this, to really kind of count the costs. Now, what do I mean when I say count the cost? Well, there are a number of things that we want to think about in terms of counting the cost. you want to think about right now, if you are thinking about doing this as a business, how much time and energy is this going to take you to do this and to do it well, aside from what you're already doing? Okay, so most likely you might have another outside job. So in addition to your job, how much time, how much energy, how much effort is going to require you to be able to do this in addition to that? Okay, another thing that you may want to think about that maybe haven't thought about: what are your human resources? Who are the people that are going to come alongside of you to help make this happen? Who are the people that actually believe in you enough to want to come alongside of you? And really, if you don't have those people, just know that you're going to need those people, because you're going to need them to help to build out the organization, which means that you got to have some other hands. You got to have some other people that are committed to helping you to bring it into reality. So that's something else. So let me give you a couple other things that may be important for you to consider. We're talking about counting the costs. Part of counting the costs is, who do you need? Who are some other people that you can have on your team? Who are some other people that can lend a helping hand? The other thing, money. We've got to think about money. Now, I've been able to help a lot of organizations to secure grant money, and some people, when they are thinking about starting a new nonprofit organization, are looking at it because they say, hey, listen, Rodney, I know there are grants out there, and I want to be able to secure some of those grants. And they don't realize a few things. When you're trying to get grants, funders, those that are giving monies out, oftentimes are not quick to want to give monies to a brand new nonprofit organization. Why? Because they're new. They don't have a track record. They are coming to the table and they're hopefully going to bring something good, but they're new. And so a lot of funders are wanting to see that your organization has some stability, that it's going to be here for a while, that it's not going to be a fly-by-night organization. And there are a lot of fly-by-night nonprofits that come and go. So we want to make sure that you start laying the groundwork so that your organization will be here for a while, and that really requires you doing the following. It really requires that you count the costs and start looking at how you're going to make things happen. So, do you have funds already set aside? If you don't have funds already set aside to really do your nonprofit organization, how are you going to get those funds? Are you going to do fundraisers? Are you going to have supporters that are going to be supporting you on a monthly basis? Do you have some other revenue streams that you're willing to invest, or do you have other people that you know that are willing to invest? Are you going to be doing a special fundraiser that's going to raise $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 to help you? If you're thinking about doing this and you're going to be the executive director, how are you going to get paid salary-wise? Okay, where's that money going to come from? It's not poof going to come out of thin air. Okay, so I'm trying to just help you to think through this, because if you're going to do a nonprofit, I want to see you be successful in this, and I don't want to see you spending and wasting a lot of time. I want to see you win. Okay, and a part of winning is gaining the clarity, and the way we gain the clarity, if you didn't get a chance to see the previous video that I did on this about So You Want to Start a Nonprofit, part 1, go back and check that out. Remember, we want to answer those 5 W's: the who, what, when, where, why. We want to throw a how in there. So all I'm saying is we want to gain clarity, and that's the reason why I say, hey, many people who are thinking about starting a nonprofit probably shouldn't, because they haven't looked at the business side of this. They haven't counted the cost. And I want you to count the cost. I want you to gain clarity and an understanding about how nonprofits work, okay? Now, in my next video, I'm going to be sharing with you what is a nonprofit, because if you can't even answer that question, you probably shouldn't be starting a nonprofit. I'm going to also be sharing with you what the difference is between that and a for-profit, okay? So I want you to stay tuned. In the meantime, remember to be brave, to be bold, to be brilliant, and always take charge.